But as we see now, housing developers are coming in, buying up properties and turning it into kind of urban sprawl. What is your view on kind of what's been happening within the housing market within your district? And also, are you supportive or against the residential development that's been happening?
So, in 3 words, I hate it.
Three bold words. Oh, I love it.
Okay, listen, Carlos, I'm one of those persons that moved out here really for the rural nature of I live in Clinton, Maryland, but I'm in the southern part of Clinton, Maryland. So if you're familiar, if you've ever been to Miller's Farm,
Hmm.
I'm just down the street from Miller's Farm. I can
Wow.
literally walk to Miller's Farm, but I wouldn't risk my life walking down that 2-lane road now because it's just like people are going 50 miles an hour. There's no sidewalks, no shoulder, nothing. But the reason that I hate it is because when I literally moved out here, and I unfortunately, I think I spoke this into existence. I said, I'm going to make sure that I patronize these farms. At the time, there were 3 working farms. It was not just the Miller's Farm. It was the Miller's Farm, the Parker family farm, that they actually have their name on the road. And then there was the what they call Cherry Hill Farm, which was owned by the Gallahan family. And I said to myself, I'm going to make sure I come to these places weekly, go often, get my fresh vegetables, fruits. And the Gallahan family at Cherry Hill Farm, they actually had apple and peach orchards. So they had really fresh off the vine type of vegetables. Miller's Farm has gotten a little bit more commercial. They ship some of their stuff in. They still do farm a lot of, particularly in the fall and winter seasons, harvest, the collard greens, the yams and all that. But the other farms have stopped. I want to, well, one sold. They sold and they built houses on it, the property. And the other farm, they have not, my understanding is that they still have operations in Virginia, so they still have a farmstead, but they use it like for storage. But the main land is now a big community called Hill and Trade, which is also in Clinton. And in fact, they used to sell berries. And so when you drive in that community, there's Strawberry Lane, Strawberry Hill, something, Strawberry, so the streets are actually named after, berries and things like that. But, why I hate it is because we have a 2-lane road, Carlos, north and south, and all of this development is coming out on these 2-lane roads. You got, you know, Hill and Trade probably has about 3 or 400 homes. My
Whoa.
community, which is an older community built back in the 60s, has about 400 or so homes. But they're getting ready to build right across from Miller's Farm townhouses. And, that's a lot. They want to put like 1,700 townhouses up
My
where the
gosh.
airport, it used to be an airport, an old airport called Hyde Field. And so they want to put 1,700 houses there. And everything is coming out on these 2-lane roads. And it's like, no, we cannot continue to grow like this at this capacity. We have to fix the infrastructure. And that's one of the things that I have been doing for decades, Carlos. I think what distinguishes me from the other candidates that are running in this race, and there are like 9 Democrats and 1 Republican running, I think it's like 10 people running, because it's an open seat, it's always open seat, open season, is what I say. And so, but what distinguishes me from the other candidates, Carlos, is that I have consistently and been at the forefront of land use and development here in District 9. Bar none. There's no other candidate that can say that they have consistently been either fighting development, trying to work with the developers to get some community benefits, to get some infrastructure improved. And some of the promised infrastructure that we're getting is a direct result of my advocacy along with my neighbors. I don't proclaim to be the champion of everything, but I have been at the forefront and brought our neighbors along to help either fight the development or at least try to get some community benefits. They also wanted to put apartments at the airport. Yep, they wanted to put apartments there, big I think like 5 stories, 6-story building of apartment units. And we said, absolutely not. That's a non starter.